Natalie Hayden.
And I'm Laverne Badger.
And we are Expose the Podcast.
We're back. In effect.
All of that.
2024. Expose the Podcast.
Expose the Podcast. Wow. Well, deep sigh there. I am Natalie Hayden, and Laverne Badger is taking just a little bit of a break. But, Expose the Podcast has to continue on because there's so much work to do. And she's out covering some things while we're covering double duty. Today, we are entering into still season 6, episode 3, and we really want to continue on this pathway and journey around empowering our youth. And today, we're going to be talking about intervention. So a little bit about some of the things that we have been doing. It's just like a nice little catch up with Exposed because people are saying, so what is Exposed doing these days? Well, for sure, we are more than a podcast. And yes, we are still podcasting. We would like to shout out our podcasting host, which is Podcast Town. And we just really appreciate all the behind the scenes work that goes into producing and the things that you guys just don't see. You just see a finished product, but we know the hands that take the initiative to get these things out for us. And we're just really appreciative. We also want to shout out many of the contributors to us being able to do the work that we do. So I just want to hop right into a few things. I won't be before you long. Without Laverne, it's like missing, that other piece. She's my partner in crime, but know that she is out doing the work and handling biz for Expose the Podcast, in the words of like many young people today, standing on business. That's what's happening with Exposed. Standing on business so much that we truly believe in empowering our youth, so much so that we have just been tasked greatly with doing a lot of things that involve not us speaking, but also, but more so, helping our youth cultivate a voice where they can be empowered, not just with themselves and each other, but amongst educators, their peers, and their guardians. We believe that true empowerment comes from us cultivating what does healthy relationships continue to look like amongst our youth, and that conversation will never get old. So a little bit about what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks since we left you guys. A lot has been going on. We kicked off the season 6, with the city of Milwaukee, community wellness and safety. And we had youth in the studio with us sharing a bit about, just what does dating and healthy relationships look like today. And if you did not catch that, I would strongly encourage, if you are a peer, you're an educator, or someone that's looking to just understand youth a bit more, go back and listen to that. They really dropped some significant information and some gems as to how to connect with them. And then also a message really to parents. This season specifically is about youth, and this season is about how we can support our youth. So the messaging will be tailored to educators, parents, guardians, as well as peers. So we really just want to make sure that we're finding ways to evolve, for one, as a podcast, as well as bringing in young people to be voices for those that may not feel as comfortable sharing that. So speaking of youth, Laverne and I, we have had great privilege and opportunity to connect with youth on so many scales, and our schedule is quite jam-packed leading into quarter 2 of the year. Can you guys can we just take a breath? Woosah. We are January, listen, I'm skipping months because I don't know where we are, but we're January, February, and we're at the end of March. That is quarter 1 of 2024. And we are truly about to head right into quarter two. And when things feel like it's just going so fast, nonstop, you really do have to give yourself grace to pause. And one thing that young people teach us in this day and time is that it's okay to take a break and to be joyful and playful and all of those things in spite all the work that there is to be done. So for one, I just really want to thank the youth that we've encountered and that has poured into us. You all truly fill our cups up. And we're closing the month of March. This is Women's History Month. And I will say that many women that I like to really recognize, for one, we're always going to rally in behind her. But this is someone that has truly taken on the trajectory of pouring into youth, supporting youth, making sure that they have the tools that they need to be successful, just making sure that they are heard and seen in all the things. And I think it's really without reservation to just say that it's necessary to recognize women that are doing things like this. Women's History Month is more than about creating history, but it's about the trail that you blaze for other people. And this person has truly indeed has done that with you specifically. And so we expose, Laverne and I, we have a personal relationship with this woman, but she has really been a great example as to how we can truly continue to empower our youth here in the city and just in general in our own lives and our family and community. So we just wanted to recognize for Women's History Month Prince Gal, Shanora Jordan, Shanora J. Jordan. She has been truly monumental and has been a trailblazer in education at Mesmer High School here in the city of Milwaukee. And we've been partnering with Mesmer Catholic High Schools over the past 3 years and working with youth in cultivating what healthy relationships look like, and also empowering them to really just have a voice that is more than just, like making noise, but a voice of change, a voice of, just empowerment, and a voice of just, making sure that people can do something differently and have the courage, a voice of courage, And so we really just wanted to thank Shanora. We're always thinking of ways to support not just women, but also just our young people that are connected to those women. So big ups and shout out to Shanora Jordan, Prince Gal over at Mesmer High School here in Milwaukee. Additionally, Laverne and I have we just got back from Sacramento Job Corps of Sacramento, California. And we had an opportunity to really sit amongst young people ages 16 to 24. And these were young ladies who, in all honesty, they're struggling in personal and intimate and non-platonic or platonic relationships, if you will, and just learning those dynamics and how to really get hold of them. And the main theme was just true advocacy, self-advocacy, and accountability. And those are things that we tend to talk about day in and day out when we're hosting our workshops and talking to young people. We just do our best to make sure that we're standing 10 toes down on, for one, becoming aware of some of the signs of an unhealthy relationship, holding oneself accountable, learning about who you are, and creating barriers and expectations and boundaries and all of these things, things that we just are not aware of that could really land us in some of the most unhealthy circumstances, not just with romantic, but also non-romantic relationships, just how we do relationships in general. So the youth have truly, they spoke and they were extremely empowered, and they were just extremely aware, educated. So we say, as we're this year, our intention, or this season, our intention really is to grab the ear and really help it land differently with educators, guardians, as well as, those that are connected peers that may not understand why a friend or an associate is sort of acting a certain type of way. And I think it's important to just continue to stay educated. So we're always going to, just refer you back to our website. That's one place where you can get some information, but also just get online and just start researching some of these things. And you'll be surprised of the different type of experiences and what does a healthy and unhealthy relationship look like. And that in itself is so empowering. I will say that our young people, they know a lot. They know a lot more than what we ever would have known about some of these relationships. And oftentimes, it is peer pressure that they're struggling with, just being ashamed or embarrassed. Those are common things that I think, that are pretty that can go from generation to generation, but being ashamed and embarrassed and not wanting to sort of air someone's business out, if you will, but just wanted to make sure their peers and that person is safe. And sometimes, just not getting in someone's business. That's another thing. Laverne and I, we have the great opportunity and privilege to speak with Marquette nursing students this semester, and just really helping them understand the dynamics of what communication will look like in their industry and field. And oftentimes it's not what we communicate, it's often what is being communicated to us and what we do with that. So it's just always nice to just unpack what does communication look like in various industries. So if you could just take, for instance, and I'm not going to be before you long, but just take, for instance, whatever scope of work that you're in and how you would show up in a space and someone is sort of displaying whether it be unhealthy characteristics and traits within a relationship, or they have these nonverbal cues that they're giving off that something is not right. How do you show up in support, or do you just say, that's not my business? Those are some things that you really should consider asking yourself. But these are questions that we're asking young people. Ask the young people in your lives, your cousins, your nieces. We say, before we can go out and do all the work and reach the world, we got to start right in our backyard. So we start within our families. We start within, the people that we're closest to, and ask these questions and just see what their thoughts are about it. And that is one way that we can build and empower our young people. What I will say is, Laverne and I, we are truly passionate about this work, but more than anything, we are looking to do three things. And that's always to provide the awareness and education, which will then prevent, the cycle of abuse. And so with that, we just really wanted to make sure that that lands well with everyone, and that we continue to do the work together. We're not in this alone. And our young people have spoken, and sometimes we just need to take the time to listen and hear them. And so that's my small little PSA. Laverne will be back next episode, but I just really want to drop in and drop a few nuggets and just say thank you guys for continuing to listen to us and support the work that we're doing. And you can find us just about anywhere on social media. My words are blending together, but it's Laverne and Natalie, exposethepodcast.com. You can find us Instagram, social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as exposethepodcast.com. I hope you guys are having a wonderful kickoff to spring, even though it doesn't feel like it if you're in the Wisconsin area. But we are continuing to do a lot more, and we will see you guys back for episode 4. Thank you.